So a few days ago, I got an email in my box, and it started out with, "Faith leaders, this is your chance." And so I am on a list, you know, one of the things for signing petitions and all, for faith leaders. And so they asked us to educate our congregation about guns and, you know, and the public health and safety hazard that they are. So I thought I would do that. Yeah. So I'd like to read you some of the information that I got. Yeah, and it's really quite astounding. Okay, so the U.S. has 5% of the world's population and 50% of the world's guns. 34 people are murdered in the U.S. every day with a gun. That's more than 1 an hour are murdered with a gun every day. And the more powerful the gun and the more ammo it has, the more people it can kill. So the Newtown massacre wasn't a freak incident. School shootings are commonplace today. There have been 181 school shootings at school across the U.S. since Columbine. 181 since Columbine in schools. Congress chose to legalize the gun that killed these children. I think it's referring here to Newport. A weapon that would be covered by a strong new assault weapons ban. The shooter used an AR-15 military-style assault rifle to kill the children. In fact, he was armed with enough ammo to kill every student at the school. Yeah. In 2008 and 2009, 5,740 children were killed by guns, 1 every 3 hours. And 34,387 children were wounded. Okay, look at the gun show loophole, because, you know, it says, it lets criminals avoid background checks if they buy from unlicensed gun sellers. That's 6 million guns sold every year, and we have no idea which criminals are getting what. Because you can just go into a gun show and, you know, buy a gun, and they don't do any background checks. It's like every other thing you do in this country. You know, if you want to get a passport, if you want to get a driver's license, everything you do, there's restrictions, there's checks to make sure you're qualified. You know, if you want to get on, you know, food stamps or everything, there's checks to see if you're qualified. For purchasing a gun at a gun show, nothing. Okay, the claim that guns don't kill people, the claim that guns don't kill, people do, is unconvincing. Of course, people are the agents in these horrific acts. Okay, our society takes steps to make automobiles safer. Surely we can muster the moral courage to take action on firearms as well. Now, with this thing of guns don't kill, people do, Nicholas Kristof, who's one of my favorite op-ed writers in the New York Times, he wrote an article about gun usage, and of course he got a lot of feedback. And so he was saying that one man wrote in and quoted this, you know, guns don't kill, people do, and that even a fork can become a weapon in the hands of somebody who is crazed. But Nicholas Kristof, you know, pointed out that guns can have a potential to kill more, and that's why the U.S. Army doesn't arm their soldiers with forks. I thought that was a brilliant reply to that thing, you know, that argument. Okay. 40% of gun sales, 6 million guns a year, are sold by unlicensed dealers who aren't required to conduct background checks under federal law. We can start by closing this obvious loophole so there's a criminal background check for every gun sold in America. I mean, that's only logical, isn't it? The Columbine killers and the Aurora shooter also used assault weapons, while the gunmen in Tucson, Fort Hood, and Virginia Tech shootings were all armed with high-capacity magazines. We can start fixing our gun laws by banning military-style assault weapons and high-capacity magazines, ideas with strong public support. And doing that certainly wouldn't hurt the people who like to go hunting, which, by the way, on our land we don't allow anybody to hunt. But you know, this kind of thing, again, it's only common sense. You don't need assault rifles for this kind of thing. And the gun makers return the favor. According to a 2011 report by the Violence Policy Center, a group advocating stronger gun regulations, since 2005, corporations, gun-related and other, have contributed between $19.8 million and $52.6 million to the NRA as detailed in its Ring of Freedom corporate giving program. Think of what those millions of dollars could have been used for in terms of public safety, health care, you know, better education, but they gave their donations that way. The report continued, the vast majority of funds, 54%, contributed to the NRA from corporate partners, are members of the firearm industry. Okay, companies involved in the manufacture or sale of firearms or shooting-related projects. Contributions to the NRA from the firearms industry since 2005 total between $14.7 million and $38.9 million. Okay, the Sturm, Ruggers and Company stock, that must be a firearms production company, has gone up more than 500% since President Obama was first elected. And Smith & Wesson stock is up more than 200%. Isn't that astounding? Okay, so I'll continue tomorrow. There's more. But that's just some statistics about guns in our country. So, just for people to think about.